this side. Hi there. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Brendan Goodyjohn, and today I have the privilege of speaking to you about one of my favorite choose-your-own-adventure genre games, A Way Out, which was released by Hazel Light Studios in 2018. For those that have not played this game before, A Way Out is a game that talks about moral uncertainty in very many aspects. You play as two convicts looking to escape prison, evade the law, and all of the people that will be chasing them down as they're escaping their past. And they'll be looking to seek revenge and get back for someone who has wronged them in their past. And you'll play through these stories as Leo, who is one of the convicts, or Vincent. What makes this game so intriguing, and what initially pushed me to make this my rhetorical artifact presentation, is the level of moral uncertainty that you get to experience, like I said. What's really fascinating is that they'll use different elements of persuasion, such as emotional manipulation, lots of pathos, lots of looking at the credibility or the building blocks of an individual, the ethos as well. And they use these different types of persuasive elements to make you kind of question good versus bad, the hero versus the villain, who plays these and who gets to decide what side you fall on. So I'll kind of walk you through this here, and we'll look at this rhetorical artifact and see what we can figure out. So going through it, the main principles, you're playing as one of two, Leo or Vincent, and they go into prison, and they find themselves kind of rocky at first, and you get to start to notice the first element of persuasive manipulation of pathos. And you see these two individuals butt heads a little bit, and then they start to work together, and they want to escape prison, and they realize that they have a mutual enemy in the mafia leader Harvey, who has wronged them in the past, like I said. This individual wrongs them in different terms. They didn't know each other beforehand in any sort of way, but because of their background, now they're going after him, is essentially what we're doing. So throughout their journey of getting to that point to go exact revenge on him, you get to see a lot of different things happen. They're going to get very close because they're going to be put in a lot of very intense, very adrenaline rushing sorts of adventures. There's dog chases, there's hijacking cars, there's you're going down a huge river with a big drop off. There's a lot of different elements that you get to be in these high stakes areas, and as the player you get to see that kind of pushed in the level of commitment that you have to both of these characters as they're going through, and you're learning about who they are more than just their prison sentence or what they were convicted of. And you might start to feel a certain way about either of these characters, sympathy, empathy for the situation they've been put in. And a lot of this has to do with that pathos. You see this occur very often as there's other significant events that happen in their story that take a look at whether they are the good guy or the bad guy, because we see them on the wrong side of the law, but the game does a very good job of emphasizing their humanity. So there's a lot. One of the instances that I'll talk about, Leo, one of the convicts, throughout their excursion as they're going to go exact revenge on Harvey, there's a point in time when he goes back to his home to check on his family because he's been locked in prison for 6 months, and he wants to make sure that they're okay. He goes back in to check on them. And then immediately after that, as they're setting up the heist and they're getting ready to go after Harvey, Vincent gets a call from his wife, and she has just gone into labor. So with everything that's going on at that point in time, you get to see these two individuals and their humanity as he is rushed to the hospital to go meet his newborn child, and just things of this caliber that you get to see happen. And it's very, very cool to see the humanity brought out of these two, and that's where this kind of ties into the second point of ethos, as the credibility of who is who So Leo is one of the individuals, and we have Vincent, the other. Both have very differing backgrounds. A convict through and through. That's all he does. That's his living, and a banker. So with this in mind, we get to see these two individuals, what makes them who they are, and throughout the game, you're going to take a peek at what makes them a good person or a bad person, and a lot of this has to do with what they're after and what they push for and where's their moral compass at. And what this persuades the audience to do, you're going to want to make sure that you're a little bit of an older audience as you're going through and playing this game, just as that's the push. But what makes it very persuasive, that you'll kind of take a peek at, is that moral uncertainty of, are convicts really bad? Should we still consider them humans? And it makes you take a second peek at what it looks like to be a convict. And Hazel Light Studios does a great job of making sure that this is a well done video game to take a look at the good versus bad, and giving both sides the credit that they deserve. Thank you for joining me today as I spoke to you about this rhetorical artifact. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.